Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Coast Chell, YouTube channel Doncaster, but for Theme Park News. This is a debating video on the Theme Park Newsroom playlist from Chessington World of Adventures, and this is about the future of one of the rides highlighted for removal and replacement in the 2015 Long-Term Development Plan. And this is the Toadies Crazy Cars, the 1987 vintage cars convoy attraction located in the Africa section of the park. Now, of course, the reason why I'm doing this video is because, of course, like I said, it was highlighted in the long-term development plan for removal and replacement as one of the attraction replacement sites in the 2015 long-term development plan for the future. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this video is because, with that in mind, with the fact I don't think they've really touched on the long-term development plan from what I know. So this is all about looking at the site and thinking what could replace this vintage cars attraction. Now, of course, I believe, even though it was mentioned in the long-term development plan which hasn't been used yet, I first of all do believe that Toadies Crazy Cars will not last very long. I think past evidence of Miss Hippo's fungal safari over at Thorpe Park and the old vintage cars before it was replaced by the driving school at Alton Towers in 2007 is clear evidence that Merlin Entertainment do not look at keeping their antique vintage car ride attractions in the Merlin parks, especially in the UK. So I do believe that in the long-term future, in the next 5 to 10 years, we could be looking at a replacement attraction for Toadies Crazy Cars, even if they don't really stick as much to the long-term development plan as they did when they released it back in 2015. So now it's time to look at future replacements of what could replace Toadies Crazy Cars. Now, there are a few different routes they could go with. 3 main routes in my opinion: a flat ride, a dart ride, or a coaster. Now we're going to start with the flat ride route. Now, in terms of flat rides, if you're going to go along the family route, you could be looking at something like an Enterprise, maybe, like a Zamperla Endeavour, because that would be a nice family attraction to sort of add to the park. But of course, that ride takes up so much space. So you maybe need to put in another flat family ride or a flat ride to sort of help rediscover that area. And if you're going to sort of include like an Endeavour, which doesn't take up the whole plot of land that the Toadies Crazy Car sits on, but it could take up like a portion of it, then you can maybe use that other portion for another attraction. And in terms of family thrill rides, you could be looking at something, well, with the recent news about Black Buccaneer not operating for the 2019 season, but maybe coming back next year, maybe if they're going to remove Toadies Crazy Cars at the end of this season, maybe they could move Black Buccaneer, retheme it, rename it, refurbish it, and bring it into part of that Toadies Crazy Cars spot, or maybe replace the whole of the Crazy Cars spot in terms of flat rides. So it could be a pirate ship, or it could be an Endeavour flat ride if Black Buccaneer is staying as it is or being removed altogether. It could be an Endeavour and another family ride, sort of two small sort of blueprint family thrill rides to sort of make up that plot of land to help the Africa area. Now, of course, another direction they could go in is the dark ride route. Now, first of all, I'm going to say out straight off the bat, the reason why I don't think the dark ride route is the best out of the 3 is because there is a dark ride already in the park that I think needs a lot of work way before they start making another dark ride from scratch. And that is, of course, Tomb Blaster, sorry, which is in the Egypt section of the park, and it's this shooting dart ride, kind of like Jewel at Alton Towers Resort. And I do feel like that Tomb Blaster sort of needs work first, just because of the fact that that ride is in such a state as is Jewel. So I think Alton Towers and Chessington need to look at both dart rides and sort of pick a more reasonable solution to that problem, rather than trying to keep up refurbishing a ride that's, you know, could be on its way out in many people's opinion. So that's why I sort of don't think the dark ride route would be the best idea. But if they were to go on a dark ride route, I'd like to see a flying theatre. I think that could work really well in Chessington, because it's quite a family dark ride, and it's all about the pristine views and the technology it uses to give off those pristine, glorious views on the multimedia screens in the flying theatre attraction. You look at Voletarium at Europa Park, or the Flying Theatre attractions in Ferrari Land as part of a second gate park to PortAventura World in Spain. And you sort of look at those flying theatres, you look at flying theatres in general and think, okay, some people think that depending where you're sat could give off a really terrible experience because you won't be able to see the screen properly. But I think there are enhancements that can still be made to that flying theatre attraction. And there's still enhancements that can be made to sort of develop the attraction to make it an even better dark ride. But I think Chessington will really benefit from a flying theatre attraction. Maybe as a retheme to that area, and I'll go on about that at the end of the video. So as well as dark rides and flat rides, another direction they can go in is the coaster route, and there's one particular compact roller coaster that I could see work on that spot, and it would really give a help to, again, a retheme or a redevelop of the area it's in, along with the coaster, and that is a Premier Skyrocket 2. Now it isn't completely extreme, it's still a thrill coaster, like slightly above Vampire and Dragon Fury's level and Rattlesnake's level. It's slightly above that, but still not too extreme. So it would be, and of course it's in a compact location, it'd be a compact spot. If you place it on the diagonal and you get that type of layout in, I definitely think that could easily work on Toadies Crazy Cars spot and location. Especially if you're going to redesign Africa. If you're not going to retheme it, I don't know what they'd retheme it to. Maybe retheme it to Madagascar if they're going to go for IP, if they're going to keep the Madagascar sponsorship. But if you're going to keep the African name, at least work on like a 2-year renovation of that area. So it could be, if you're going to lose the Madagascar IP in terms of shows, the drop towers, I think phase 1 would be to redesign that show area, bring in a brand new show. And of course the drop towers, the family drop towers, rename them, retheme them to that Africa theme, and then sort of deconstruct the Crazy Cars ready for phase 2 the following year, which would be a coaster or some kind of major attraction. And I think a Premier Skyrocket 2, along with the drop towers, the family drop towers, and the show area that's already at the park, that would make Africa a better looking area. Because right now it looks like Crazy Cars with no real theme to it, with a Madagascar themed drop tower and, you know, a shade area. Of course, it used to be known as the Treetop Bouncers. It used to have a Ribena sponsorship, I believe, those family drop towers in the Africa section. And then when Madagascar was brought in, they sort of rethemed and renamed and sort of rebranded those family drop towers into a Madagascar sort of hopper kind of theme. Back in 2015, I believe, when the new show came in 2015. So, like I said, again, I would like to sort of see that sort of side to Chessington, that original side, bringing back the Africa section. That would be a really nice sort of way to go around it. Of course, you know, since, you know, the Madagascar stuff went in, of course, 2016 we had the show Pandemonium. I believe the show stage has now become a Gruffalo area, like a Gruffalo meet and greet area. So, like I said, we only have like the treetop hoppers and the Crazy Cars spot, which I'd love to see redeveloped in the next 5-10 years. So I think Africa could be the next area of Chessington to maybe get a brand new redevelopment of some sort, whether it's a retheme of the whole area into something completely new, or it becomes like a new sort of way to redevelop the Africa theme and sort of replace Crazy Cars, because I do think Crazy Cars is on the way out in the next 5-10 years, but of course we don't know exactly sort of when we're looking at this redevelopment. I mean, like I said before, it could be a matter of 5-10 years. So there we go. So that's all the options and sort of what we could see replace Crazy Cars if it was to be replaced at Chessington World of Adventures. So thank you very much for watching this Theme Park Newsroom update on the future of Toadies Crazy Cars at Chessington World of Adventures Resort. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, guys, my name is Coach Charlie, YouTube channel Donks to Born, but for Theme Park News. Keep living the coast life, my dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care. Have an awesome day, my friends.